should fucking die. This is your address. Blah, 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 blah. Anyway. How is the hairline a racialized component? Like, I get the 4C texture discrimination, but surely receding hairlines a universal and fair game? Bro, what are you guys talking about? Of course is important. Hair is a gigantic part of especially not only black culture, but like the way that black people are attacked regularly. Interesting situation. I feel like farming off your name is a really weird thing to do. Yeah, it's just I just have no time for people that do that, and I get really fucking petty sometimes. How did she find it? Going through all your tweets? I don't even fucking know. I wouldn't really apologize to her unless she does it to you. What you said was wrong, but she started it. Lesson is to let this shit slide going forward and don't engage. I think so. Yeah. It's just weird though. I fucking hate that. I hate that like. What? I hate that like this turns into like a way larger point of contention where it's like, no, you're at fault here. You know what I mean? Chat, please. Black hair is a huge thing in the black community. Y'all are not doing this community any justice on that part. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. This is a very white community, so of course this is like a subject matter that's like difficult to broach for sure. But this isn't like, I would say black hair is not like AAVE. Like, you know how sometimes I will
check one.
I will make fun of people that get like really upset about certain aspects of AAVE.
Hello.
That you know, people come across as like ridiculous to get mad at. You know what I mean? Like using terms like
well, how about y'all? Saying y'all.
Like gatekeeping certain aspects of AAVE
down here that doesn't
in a way that is a little silly is not the same degree as hair. And the reality is that like, yeah, cool, exactly. You know what I mean? That it's not like that. Black hair is huge. It's very, very important. Balding is universal. Black hair isn't universal. Yes, but remember the analogy I gave you.
Check one.
Okay?
Bop, bop.
Remember the analogy I gave you. Okay? This is an important place for people to understand. This is good for you guys to fucking understand. But we bash LeBron's hairline all the time. Yes.
I thought he had.
Yes, but it's different. LeBron is a black man. Okay?
Never heard.
LeBron's a black man. There are different components. There are different components to hair, specifically black hair, specifically when we talk about the hair of black women. Okay? Understand what I'm trying to explain here. Listen.
I really don't get this. I mean, I get what he's saying. I don't get why this woman is using an Amber.
One thing that I want to get across is that like it's not the same. It's never the same exact offense. Might be much larger when talking to someone else. Okay, like when talking to someone from a different background. Here, I'll give you an explanation. Yesterday, we looked at that lady who was fucking flashing dudes, right? There's that lady who would just like go around and flash people. If a dude did it, that's like significantly worse. Why is that significantly worse? Because under a patriarchal society, obviously, men engaging in sexual violence of that sort, it's still bad for the record. I literally said what I said.
Like,
I said that lady is doing a crime. She's gross, and she should possibly go to fucking. She should possibly stop it if she's actually showing her like pussy and shit to all these people.
Exposing yourself to a random adult.
But when a guy does it, it's regarded as differently because the likelihood of sexual violence being committed by a man
if you're talking
against
about
other men
children,
and against other
however,
women is significantly higher than vice versa.
There's no way
when,
I would be okay with that.
Men have a different set of standards. Men have a different set of privileges in that regard.
I don't.
Does that make sense? And it's the same as that. I might be fucking balding, but making fun of a black woman's hairline like that
exposing your genitals to a random
going to have additional consequences. Okay? She's still, I don't think she's like a nice person. I don't give a fuck about her. Clearly, I was very petty. I wanted her to feel sad. That's it.
I still really don't understand.
Does that make sense? I want her to
is
feel bad.
this
I wanted
about?
her to feel sad.
Other than
That's
the
why I
fact
said
that
what I
someone's trying
said.
to
The issue, unfortunately,
clout
is
off
that
of
it has
hassling Hassan
additional
over an old
consequences on top
post.
of that.
But
You having to explain these basic tastes is exactly the reason why she doesn't want to be on your stream, though. Don't you agree?
what?
I think that, first of all, I think you're wrong.
guarantee
I think
she'd
she
wanna be on
does
the
want to be on stream. The situation got so serious, I got to get on Twitch. You're still on my account, so I'd love to talk to you, but I'm not coming into your echo chamber. I'd like to think we can both be mature enough
Did
to
he
understand
invite her?
why. I mean, yeah, sure. I would talk to her. But like she was popping off on like brothel and all this other shit. Like she was literally bringing up all these like
Yeah,
like
she's
random
trying to
shit.
hurt
But
him.
yeah, no, I would talk to her. She's heavy farming though, like to instigate and act like it's an actual issue is crazy.
I don't know.
Why talk to a swerve, bro? I don't even think she's a swerve. I think she's woke. Me after defending Hassan on Twitter, both of these deliveries are embedded.
You must excuse me. I've grown quite weary.
Come on.
Anyway, to address the chatter that said receding hairlines are universal, certain types of alopecia, traction alopecia, central centrifugal cicatricial alopecia predominantly affect black women. So even from a hairline standpoint, it's still a touchy subject. Sorry for spam. By the way, guys, stop saying clout chase. Because, like, I would not have fucking even responded to her if it was, like, some random anonymous account. I get fucking Nazis saying that shit to me all day, every day. You want to know why I've responded to her? Because she's a fucking massive content creator. She should know better. The fuck? Like, I'm sorry. She's a fucking huge content creator. You should fucking know a little bit better than to farm against another fucking large content creator.
Yeah,
You
but
can't just
people suck.
immediately
I mean, that's
double
what this
back
is
into
about.
the, well, I'm a small bean. I'm just a tiny black woman shit when you got 4 million fucking followers on
Yeah,
TikTok.
I agree with him on that.
Come on
and I
now.
also think that
Especially
just
because,
people
like,
fucking
here's
suck.
the problem.
That's what I've learned today.
And this is my
my whole life.
annoying, stubborn
today
side,
especially.
okay? It doesn't fucking matter. If I don't agree with something, I just never fucking stop, okay? I never stop. I can't stop myself. Now she's saying she's not actually mad. I know. I saw. She's just like joking. I think she was just like farming, and it got out of control. But like I didn't even instigate it. You know what I mean? And anyway, my point is this. I can't stop myself. Like the same people that fucking get mad at me and say like, "Oh, I can't believe you like shit on Candace Owens, like blah blah blah, like, you know, she's a black woman, you should listen to her." All this shit. It's just no, I'm not going to do that. The reaction to this from her side as a trauma response is overreaching and comes from a place of hurt where you were simply clapping back to defend yourself. Logically thinking through the situation would lead most people to the conclusion that it is a heinous reach and insanely overblown. No, that's not going to happen. But did you do it with like the intention of knowing what black women's hair means to them? I don't personally think so. I think telling to kill yourself was worse. No, I wasn't thinking about that in that moment. Why the fuck even think about it practically? Pragmatically speaking, no. I wouldn't have fucking said that if I thought that it would come across like a much larger issue. Clearly, I was fucking emotional. You know what I mean? I was emotional and thought that I was making fun of one individual. And then I realized like, oh, fuck, here we go.
Those cultural markers.
All right, now we got Sean the Black videos playing on the fucking stream. Okay. When he's already in the chat.
Can
All
be
right.
used as a protest against the politics of desirability, allowing black women to freely express themselves in a way that may not be deemed as professional or presentable. Beyond that, there are countless stories of young black kids having to cut their hair while existing in predominantly white spaces.
Yeah, that's some fucked up shit. Having wrestled myself, I can tell you that there are ways around that. People can wear fucking headbands and shit like that. It's fucked up that they would ever do that. Now, it's not the same thing as fucking making a joke about somebody. Just period.
Yeah, this stuff is bullshit. I've talked about this a lot. I've covered this a lot. You guys already know this. You know where You know what my opinion is on this matter.
Tonight, for the first time, we're hearing from the superintendent who's taking heat for a dress code policy over a boy's long hair.
He's defending the policy that requires a student cut his locks in order to walk at graduation.
And the teenager at the center of the controversy also talking tonight, telling our Matt Doherty his civil rights are being violated.
We have a morning exclusive. A high school softball player says she felt humiliated when she was forced to cut her braids in the middle of a game because her hair supposedly obscured the number on her jersey.
Whether it's because of dress code policies or school sports policies, they all enforce a sort of set of standards over these students.
Better timestamp.
This is mirrored in the topic of black hair in the workplace. Texturism and hair discrimination is way too common to be coincidental, and it's something that is under-addressed by greater society. For example, in 2010, Chastity Jones accepted a job offer from Catastrophe Management Solutions. Ironic. However, one of the stipulations...
Dude, shut up. So you think it's okay to use tools of white supremacy because you were emotional? How can any black person trust you? Then don't fucking trust me, dude. I don't care. Like, shut up. Jesus Christ. Look, you're not making... This is like, we're trying to have a productive conversation. Turn someone farming fucking hatred and my reaction to that into a productive conversation. You're bringing that shit up in here specifically because you're a narcissist, not because you're woke. It has nothing to do with your fucking perspective either. Like, you're just doing that right now, and you're being unproductive, okay? Not only do I recognize the wrong here, okay? Not only do I recognize the wrong, ultimately, like, it's just like, people are just obsessed with catching us on anything. Why do you think the brothel and shit are brought up? Honestly, it's embarrassing. Compare this shit to real shit, like showing, not saying you're doing this, but this is what others are doing.
I think it's hilarious.
Yeah, it's just like
there are people sitting on him for a brothel that will
first and foremost
also turn around and say sex work
obviously
is
a
real
white
work,
guy with a lot of
you can't get
with a lot of
mad at a
privilege,
fucking
okay?
John for
but who has a
existence of
decent understanding of white supremacy, who talks about it regularly, okay? That interaction in a vacuum, in my opinion, if it's like a one-to-one interaction, is petty. It's fucked up. I agree. But it's absolutely fucking valid. That interaction being two public figures talking to one another all of a sudden, one actually being someone who knows better, and the other person, petty but coming from a marginalized background, is the reason why I'm having a larger conversation about it. Because I don't want you to do it either. Okay? Like, I don't want you to do it. The irony is that, like, that person is saying, why should people stop trusting you? You should maybe shut the fuck up and listen to what I'm saying, because I'm using this even as an opportunity to take it away from, like, dumbass Twitter discourse, which is not going to go anywhere. I know a lot of people are in here thinking, oh, he did it now, he's going to get canceled. Like, no, it's not. It's not going to happen. That's not how this works, okay? We live in a white supremacist country. I'm a white dude. Ultimately, there's a reason why so many motherfuckers literally push right every time to make more money. If I was actually a fucking white supremacist, I would make more money. It doesn't work that way. Okay?
But like,
so stop.
right wingers are fucking
the idea that like
rude,
this is
what
is going to fucking this is it. It's stupid. It's silly. No, I'm a fucking dumbass Twitch streamer. And as far as Twitch streamers goes, like probably high up there on the fucking wokeness scale. Okay? I'm trying to utilize this as an opportunity to
I gotta say, Hassan's probably just...
She told me to kill myself.
Yeah.
She was flexing about it.
So the fact this woman said kill yourself to him is fucked up, and she should go fuck herself. But Hassan's giving this way too much time, I think, personally. When people don't want to listen to you because you're white, it doesn't matter how much of an ally you are or how right you are or how much you even agree with them. They don't want to listen to you. And that's just something that white allies have to learn over time, is that they just don't want to hear you even if they consider you an ally. There are times where you may be saying exactly the right thing, but they still don't want to hear from you. Which is fine. It's just, it's not productive on their part, but it is what it is. There's reasons for it, and they're at least coming from originally a valid place. I think it's counterproductive to reject allies But people do it all the time, and it's just more of the infighting on the left, broadly speaking.
Unhinged white supremacist shit. You know what I mean? Like, just because someone came after you, you can't fucking pop off. Like, it has to be of the same level, okay? No matter what happens. And there are certain bars you do not cross. Okay? That's crazy. Like, you can't be transphobic to a trans person because they're telling you to kill yourself. Like, that's crazy. Why the fuck would you do that? Right? It's the law of equivalent exchange. Like, even if she, for example, said, like, I'm a, the dirty camel.
What I think is the difference is that is more along the lines of is more along the lines of you shouldn't be saying transphobic things if you're not transphobic, period. It definitely shouldn't be where you go to insult people, but you shouldn't be saying transphobic things to trans people or anybody else if you're not transphobic. If you are somewhat transphobic or very transphobic, you're probably going to have that shit come out of your mouth at some point. Same thing with any other kind of bigotry.
Supposed to be on the side of social justice in this argument. You know what I mean? How the fuck did you go and come up with that? But my point is this. Okay? My point is this. I thought it was law of equivalent exchange. It doesn't go above. I thought that this was a conversation that we could have. This is your Elon Twitter meltdown moment. Please move on from someone's dumb comment that hurt your feelings. Wait, what?
I love how
I hate that this is what is coming across to you as. I could have just like not done that at all.
This is why I like
I'm trying to have a conversation
my life
about
is a series of ridiculous,
why this is a larger issue. I'm explaining to you why my joke crossed the line. You know what I mean? And you're upset because like what? We're having a conversation about like why black hair, specifically black women's hair, is political. Like what the fuck?
Relations with that job was apparently that Chastity had to cut off her locks. The reason the hiring manager provided was that they tend to get messy. And when Chastity rightfully refused this outrageous request, the company rescinded their offer. The EEOC filed a suit on her behalf in 2013 and lost. This was appealed, but the case was dismissed by the appeals court. And this is one of many instances of things like this happening in the workplace. Hair is of great importance in the black community and is integral to the identity of many black people. However, it's more than that. The freedom of black hair is quite literally a protest against racial subjugation.
Ever seen one of these before? They're more than just headscarves. They're powerful symbols in the fight against racial oppression. By 1763, when Spain successfully invaded the Louisiana colony, there was a large population of free black people living and thriving in Louisiana.
Sometimes, man,
the new Spanish
YouTube
colonial
videos
government
like this,
sought to
they're
restrict
great
free black
for,
people's lives and to impose a strict racial hierarchy. The Spanish proclaimed that all free black women must wear headscarves, known as tignons. Tignons were traditionally worn by enslaved women while they worked.
I mean, you basically told her to fuck off and go eat a bucket of fried chicken? No, I didn't. No.
What?
What the no, you just said that. No. No. That's a whole ass different sentence in a different zip code of racism. What the fuck are you talking about? Why did you just make that shit up? What?
No, you. Dumb.
Bro, what? Dude, I can't do this. Guys. Stay on track. Stay on track. What the fuck? I don't understand. You just like invented something. You just invented something like that is like objectively, very openly one of the more racist things you can say, like on the tier list of like things that you should never say in general, certainly not to a black person. It's literally like you hit the top level. You hit the top tier, dude. It's very wild to mention that specifically your fans' communities are the only ones harassing her. Like, this was a public thing on Twitter. It can be for anyone from either of the communities and even more likely to be people outside. Yeah. Stop. This is ridiculous. You're being ridiculous. You're being fucking insane. Why are you in here? Why are you a follower of mine if you literally think this? That's insane. I would not follow someone who would do that. Okay? Like, I don't understand. What the fuck? I can't tell if you guys are, like, fucking trolling or if you're being serious. Like, what the fuck's happening? Anyway. It's got to be a joke. Let's get back to
Requiring
the
free
video.
black women to wear these head wraps. The Spanish sought to mark them as inferior to white women. The women had to comply, but they did so creatively. In silent rebellion, the women tied their tignons in ornate, eye-catching ways. Those who could afford to created tignons using expensive fabrics. Others adorned theirs with feathers and jewels. Meant to stifle their voices, instead, tignons became a form of expression and individuality for Louisiana's free black population, who reappropriated these symbols of inferiority and oppression and wore their tignons proudly. In 1801, Spanish colonial rule ended in Louisiana, but tignons lived on.
This clip not only shows that freedom of natural hair is a civil rights issue, but it can also be attributed to the bondage/durag discussion. Those cultural markers can be used as a protest against the politics of desirability, allowing black women to freely express themselves in a way that may not be deemed as professional or presentable. Beyond that, there are countless stories of young black kids having to cut their hair while existing in predominantly white spaces.
Yeah, so we saw the rest of this. Yeah, black hair is political. It's always been political. It's a important cultural marker. It's an important part of their identity. It's understandable. That's why you mention black hair in any capacity. You mention a black person's hair, even if you're individually talking to them. Other people, whether they're being uncharitable on purpose or whether they misunderstood or whether they saw just that, are going to turn around and go, that guy's being racist. That's why some people are upset at me because they fucking hate me. Some people are upset at me because they think I'm a white supremacist racist because they're barbs. And some people are legitimately in the crosshairs, catching strays, not recognizing what the fuck's going on. Okay? Anyway, that's it. In a normal circumstance, in a vacuum, in a conversation between two people, it's not something that would be seen as anything beyond like two people being petty to one another. But we don't know each other like that. Okay? We don't know each other like that. And also, she doesn't know me like that. But obviously, like, no matter what happens, obviously I'm not going to get fucking charitability. Let's be real, guys. You know that. You know what I mean? Like, that's it. That's what it is. Okay? That's what it is. I think this is just a bad look, and you got baited into focusing on it being larger than it was. I know. But also, at the same time, it's just like, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Yeah. It's a nuclear bomb. It's because it's higher on the microaggression scale than like AAVE. I did it because she told me to kill myself after like literally launching fucking femcell warfare on me for no fucking reason off of like some idiotic, innocuous 2 years ago, probably the least offensive thing that anyone has ever said about fucking Amber Heard during the trial shit. But it is what it is. Yeah, I'm not saying it was right. I don't think it was the right thing to say. I was being petty. I was angry. I was annoyed. Bro, you're 31. She's 18. You got to move on. No, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a shit. Oh man, someone's 18. Oh, it's fine. You yourself have made the I want an unalive tweet pass joke. Chatters are saying her tweets are dead serious, and that's just not the case. Chat's got to stop saying, will she attack you so we can say anything to her? No, you can't say everything you want to her. That's not how that works. There are lines that you don't cross. I don't think this was, like, my intention wasn't to cross a line, okay? But if you want to have a nuanced conversation about, like, the racial politics of hair, obviously we can have that here. We have conversations like this all the fucking time. Sean, community member Sean the Black's video covers this extensively. But also on top of that, I have covered these exact same stories as well. You can go back and find my videos on these things. Okay. But that's it. She has tweets from you from a while ago. She's a professional hair watcher. No, she DM'd me. I followed her. She followed me back. Hold on. I think it's gonna. Yeah, she got upset with me saying she was a swerve. Hold on. Hold on. Here, I'll just keep playing this video while I.
Tonight, for the first time, we're hearing from the superintendent who's taking heat for a dress code policy over a boy's long hair.
Any cultural markers that may enforce
humiliated when she was forced to cut her braids in the middle of a game because her hair supposedly obscured the number on her jersey.
Whether it's because of dress code policies or school sports policies, they all enforce a sort of set of standards over these students. And those standards often require the removal of any cultural markers that may intimidate or otherwise make the white populace uncomfortable. This encompasses the policing of language as well.
You assume they know how to speak to people correctly. See, there's an English, there's hood English, and then there's ghetto English. What up, yo? What's up, my son? What's up, fam? Well, some people don't want to be addressed like that, as opposed to saying, how are you doing today, sir? Can I help you? What's good? Nothing. Nothing at all is good. Because that's not how you address a person.
The characterization of Ebonics turned African American vernacular English as broken, unrefined, or unprofessional speech, as opposed to a dialect akin to that of Southern American English, is telling. The way we culturally speak is wrong or ghetto or unintelligent, which in turn classifies our culture as such. However, this is the goal, because professionalism is predicated on your proximity to whiteness. It doesn't only encourage, but necessitates the removal of the Black identity. And respectability supplements professionalism because what is deemed as professional must also be respectable. And even those who claim to care about our plight, allies who say they stand with us, will engage in this behavior as well. Enter the Democratic Party. Ready. So I know what you may be thinking. What does the Democratic Party have to do with respectability politics? Why single them out? The Republicans are just as bad, even worse. Why don't you talk about them? The difference is the Republicans don't claim to care about the plight of Black people. They are evil monsters for sure, but they have no qualms telling us that no matter how respectable we act, we ain't getting civil liberties. The Democrats, however, thrive off respectability politics. Respectability politics is a necessary part of the Democratic Party's strategy because it is instrumental in their operation as controlled opposition. It operates as a way for them to direct any criticisms of them or protests of the system as disrespectful or uncivil, and thus not worth engaging with. And a perfect example of this happening in contemporary society is with the Black Lives Matter protests. While the Black Lives Matter movement was not started in 2020, that year operated as a catalyst for a new wave of protests. The high-profile murders of George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, and Ahmaud Arbery provoked the citizenry into action to protest racial violence. There was also unprecedented support from liberal circles as these instances were so cut and dry murder, with the added benefit of being filmed. However, before then, during the Obama presidency, we did not see this kind of support from the Democratic Party or liberal circles. In 2015, with the murder of Freddie Gray, who, in case you don't remember, because there were so many of them, he was a 25-year-old black man who was murdered in police custody, dying from his injuries to his cervical spinal cord from alleged unnecessary force. Side note, everybody got away scot-free for that one. Everybody got away scot-free. We're all good. No issues there. Followed by a series of protests and justifiable anger over the lack of care for a black man's life. And when the black president of the United States came out to make a statement, he spent 20 seconds thoughts and praying Freddie Gray before immediately heel turning to talk about respectability.
First, obviously our thoughts continue to be with the family of Freddie Gray. Understandably, they want answers. And DOJ has opened an investigation. It is working with local law enforcement to find out exactly what happened, and I think there should be full transparency and accountability. Second, my thoughts are with the police officers who were injured in last night's disturbances. It underscores that that's a tough job, and we have to keep that in mind. And my hope is that they can heal and get back to work as soon as possible. Point number 3, there's no excuse for the kind of violence that we saw yesterday. It is counterproductive. When individuals get crowbars and start prying open.
Dude, this is, oh, God. Holy fuck. Oh my Lord. Obama was so bad, dude. Holy shit. I mean, he literally said, was it a tweet? Didn't he fucking straight up, this might be the actual speech actually, like, the same guy who said Trayvon Martin could have been my son also literally said the BLM protesters were like behaving like violent thugs, basically.
Open doors to loot.
Oh, God.
They're not protesting. They're not making a statement. They're stealing. When they burn down a building, they're committing arson.
It's
Jesus Christ.
Yo,
man.
yeah, he didn't
Obama
basically say it. He did say
ass,
it.
didn't he?
Here's the Baltimore rioters. Obama calls Baltimore rioters criminals and thugs. The irony here is that this is such a Democratic Party position. Why? Because, first of all, you're black. So the people that also think the Baltimore rioters are criminals and thugs and not people fucking pushing back against police brutality, the people that also think that literally think you're that. Because you're black, okay? It's fucking nuts. It's nuts that the Democratic Party does this all the time. I'll give you a different example that doesn't have a racial component to it, okay? When the Democratic Party goes out and fucking signs off on, the fuck socialism bill or whatever, like they did the other day, right? A couple months back. What they don't realize is they're just literally saying socialism is bad. You guys are right. But the Republicans are not going to stop calling Nancy Pelosi socialist. All you have done is basically said, yeah, they're right, actually. Socialism is bad. Meanwhile, they still think you're a socialist and a bad person. It makes no sense. It makes no fucking sense. Anyway. I didn't even blast off today. I didn't do my blast off tweet, but I will. in a little bit. Okay. The new Blammo, the Scared Hasanabi song. Okay, we'll do that in a second. Britain is the best. All Americans are wrong. That is the worst take I've seen so far in the chat today. Anyway, look. There's a lot going on that we have to talk about, including the Dalai Lama, who apparently is being canceled. The Dalai Lama has apologized. Their video emerged showing the spiritual leader kissing a child on the lips and then asking him to suck my tongue at an event. Wait, I'm sorry, what? I thought he was just asking to like hug the kid. That's how I read it originally. Wait, hold on one second. I didn't realize it was like that, bro. The Dalai Lama is fucking canceled. There's even videos of him asking. Whoa, dude, I thought this was some Catholic shit. Yo, trigger warning pedophilia. What? Oh my God, the Rap TV emojis go crazy on this subject matter. The Dalai Lama issues apology after asking the child to suck his tongue. What? Whoa! Oh, this is why I go to Rap TV for all my favorite news, man. Oh my God, dude. It's so fucking gross.
What? What?
Bro, wait. He notes app apologized? Bro, he did fuck with Nixium, remember? Oh my God, this goes crazy. Oh yeah, this was hilarious. So the Dalai Lama tweeted, I saw the Dalai Lama tweet and Felix's reply to it. I didn't realize it was like that. I didn't realize it was like asking a child to like suck his tongue. That is way different. Because I saw this. This is good PR, by the way. These motherfuckers are good, dude. A video clip has been circulating that shows a recent meeting when a young boy asked His Holiness, the Dalai Lama, if he could give him a hug. His Holiness wishes to apologize to the boy and his family, as well as his many friends across the world, for the hurt his words may have caused. His Holiness often teases people he meets in an innocent and playful way, even in public and before cameras. He regrets the incident. Oh my Lord. I gotta fucking quote tweet this. I will show you the video in a second. He's just doing the Tom Brady thing, dude. Hold on. Oh my God. What the fuck? Hold up. The Dalai Lama is canceled, bro. He is so canceled. Holy shit. 1 second. People replying, unfollowed to his tweet are hilarious. I just want to point something out to you guys. Okay? I want to point something out to you guys, but the Dalai Lama did actually fucking, endorse Nixium, the sex cult. Yeah, that's right. I mean, that was many, many years before that shit happened. This shit happened. So it should maybe come as no surprise to any of you if you are familiar with the sex cult Nixium and what the Dalai Lama gets into. Huh, seems like they had that tweet cooking just in case. The fact that you recognize the status quo in this country is homophobia and are still willing to call Austin a bottom derogatory says a lot about your values and allyship to us gays. You basically call him the F slur for content.
What?
True.
Calling someone a bottom is not calling someone an F slur. It's not far, as far as I can tell.
Very uncharitable. Asani actually endorsed them because they cure his ADHD. Here.
For some reason, I almost thought that was not a joke.
Wait, this is actually the Dalai Lama, right? With the Nexium sex cult guy, right? I don't want to fuck this up. This is real, right? I'm going to tweet this. Okay. That's not Jared Leto, bro. That's the reason. Also, Loki, that's the reason why I stopped growing my hair. I'm not even kidding. I think like one of the biggest reasons why I stopped one of the biggest reasons why I cut my hair was literally because of this. I'm not even kidding. Possibly, where the man is endorsing Nexium.
So, I don't even really understand why people pay attention to the Dalai Lama in the first place. Isn't he only like important to a relatively small group of Buddhists?
No, you had
like,
curly long hair. The cult
Tibetan
leader look
Buddhists
is with straight
specifically,
hair. It
but,
doesn't
like,
matter.
not like
With the
many
glasses,
others. I
it
don't
still
know
did
much
look
about
kind of fucked
Buddhism.
up.
I do know there's lots of different versions
Okay.
of it, and that they don't all follow the same spiritual leaders. So I don't know, but I know why Tibet's, a point of interest for people. And I guess I do know why the Lama is in a historical perspective, but I'm not sure. I think that it's a holdover more than it is a and a little bit of, what do you call it, like Orientalism, and a little bit of just like, oh, the Beatles hung out with the Dalai Lama, that kind of shit.
Okay, 1 second. This is
But yeah.
AI, right? Like having the Pope do this kind of thing was too on the nose. No. Seeing if you're trending, the fuck is going on? I'm a racist. There was another shooting. We're gonna talk about that as well. Something is wrong with your camera. It keeps focusing on the background. Yeah, I know. Hold on. Yeah, we're gonna talk about all of that. We're gonna talk about the Rutgers faculty striking as well. The problem with Jenna Ortega?
I don't like her.
I wonder why.
She was rude to Jenna Ortega. I don't like her.
I wonder why.
She was rude to the Wednesday writing staff.
Don't you think that a woman of color should be ruder to the writing staff?
Wait. I'm sorry. Stop. The Subway Surfer got hit.
Oh my god. He really shouldn't have been doing that.
He's bleeding out.
Hey, what if I just drank this whole bottle of ketchup?
Family Guy.
Yeah, maybe I was too hard on Jenna Ortega.
I think you're being way too tough on her.
Anyway.
The Dalai Lama is also literally a CIA asset in their anti-Chinese operation focused in Tibet in putting the power back in the hands of the feudal lords.
Yeah,
and
that's another
slavers who
thing
China
about
ended up fighting to liberate
Tibet,
the serfs/slaves.
It's this like
Yeah,
cudgel.
I'm not getting into more of that. Anyway, did you see Brandon Al Roker on Easter and Biden said he's planning on running in 2024? Yes, he is. Finally. What's going on with you and on Twitter with that lady? We're good. We patched it up. We patched things up. I will have her on the broadcast at a later date to talk about sex work and things of that nature, but that's at a different date. That will happen later. We're talking about, don't want to talk about your CIA buddy? My CIA buddy, the Dalai Lama? Yeah, I don't want to. I'm scared of that. Anyway.
This has been a shitty day for me, but at least
Hold on.
I'm not the Dalai Lama.
I'm going to tweet that I'm fucking live now.
I know how ridiculous this is to be watching Hassan and like that be my stream, but frankly, I don't care.
Farming Rage Cloud on Twitter goes exactly according to plan. I mean, I would rather look. This person ultimately is not like they're trolling, but they're not. For as far as I understand, they're not like entirely against my politics in general. So if there's an opportunity to patch things up with someone who is like, if there's an opportunity to patch things up with someone who is like ostensibly on the left, who I have mutuals with, including Sean in the chat, even if they're fucking farming me, I don't give a shit. Like, I would much rather not have them hate me permanently and continue coming after me permanently instead of having a, yeah. Sean the Black says, Jack says good politics. Yeah, there it is. I don't know about the hair talk dog, not a good look. Okay, shut the fuck up. We know, okay? Please. Jesus Christ. I think you two got off on the wrong foot. First of all, we didn't even get off on any foot. I did not know who this person was. I've like seen tweets of her before, but we got off on the wrong foot because, she was just like popping off on me and said she hates me, which is fine. A lot of people do. I think people are mistaken for the most part, but obviously when people like are bringing up random shit that all of my psychotic anti-Hassan weirdos, go after, then yeah, I'm gonna pop off, especially when they're massive. Especially when they're a massive content creator, because they are. Why are you disrespecting the Dalai Lama? Because apparently he wanted to suck a child's tongue. So I feel like that's pretty good reason, I think, to do that. Anyway, the Dalai Lama is canceled. Another happened in Louisville. Does anyone have a fucking blast off tweet for me? He asked the child to suck his tongue, right? Isn't that what he said? He wanted a child to suck his tongue. Yeah, that's what I said, didn't I? Didn't I say that? Am I wrong? Brr, 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 brr. Been in Louisville. Dude, there's so much I wanted to talk about. Now I'm fucking forgetting everything. God damn it. What the fuck was I going to say? Dramas. Valorant. Pros versus noobs. Oh, okay.
This is exciting.
Bro, why'd you put me next to the Dalai Lama? That's so fucked up. Okay, I'm gonna use that because I'm a fucking freak. Okay. All right, let's do it. But yeah, we're gonna talk about why do you say Louisville like you're drunk? It'll end up better for you. Okay, there's no One Piece update. God damn. I went in straight for the fucking jugular here. Like, we're an hour and 30 minutes into the fucking broadcast. I still haven't fucking served you the top of the hour ad break. We're 4 minutes into the hour. I still haven't even blasted off about what I'm going to be talking about. I'm all over the goddamn place, okay? This is what happens with drama. Anyway, but this drama has been resolved mostly because of Sean, for the record. Sean the Black. So go follow his YouTube channel, obviously. He does great content. He is a criminal. I do have to, tell you guys. He is a person who does cyber crimes.
Boca Seca.
That's right, which we don't appreciate.
I don't
We are
speak,
very anti. It would be a shame.
Portuguese?
It would be a shame if, like,
Yes,
someone
I
was
just
trying
what
to
that
hire
is.
scabs, let's say, during a strike, and then someone were to,
know
make a
what you're
make
saying.
a way to just like flood the applications process and just
But
like break
good
their
day to you.
website. I mean, that would be, yeah,
And
real problematic.
excuse me a second. I'll fix that up.
Anyway, Dalai Lama's canceled.
Why don't I speak your language? 'Cause I'm an American. I'm an American. We don't learn no languages.
No, unfortunately, in the United States, we have the luxury of English, which is, yes, that's quite literally the most that you need to know, isn't it? Ultimately, I have learned a language in school. Well, I learned a few languages in school, but the one that I learned for the longest time, or the one that I learned the most thoroughly, is Latin. So because I know Latin, I can read a lot of Romance languages like Portuguese and understand much of the words, but not enough to really understand the language. But likewise, it's helped my vocabulary. Romania. That's why I noticed. I yeah. So obviously, I am unfamiliar with Romanian language, and I am unfamiliar with Portuguese as well. But I saw letters that looked like they might be used in Portuguese, and so I took a shot. But that makes sense. Yes, you have a Romance language as well. Yeah. So I also, 70% or so of English words that are commonly used come from, at some point come from Latin, mostly through French. But so there's a lot of connecting language there. But Romanian is one that gets forgotten in the mix, but of course it's a Romance language. Or at least it has Romance elements to it. I don't know enough about the linguistic elements of Romanian, but it's right in the name, right? Romanian. my cat. Her name is Margarita. Yes, you have a Slavic language, but you have a history that's if I'm not mistaken, you guys have a history related to I mean, of course, you would know. I don't know. See, this is where I need to learn more. So so I assume, knowing English, have you spent any time in an English-speaking country, or is it just something that so many people learn because it's such a universally spoken language for a variety of reasons? I'm looking into the history of your country, passing look at it to see what I remember. Video games, that's great. Yeah, that's the cultural. That's the part of being an American this is part of our excuse, if you will, for not being better about learning other languages, is that so many people through the cultural and imperialist efforts of the Britain and the U.S. It's just that English is so ubiquitous. It's so much available to other people that they make room for us. Plus, it's also a money thing. People tend to accommodate money, and so when you have specific language needs and in another country, and you have money and people want your money, then they're going to try and find someone that speaks your language. So I think that's a big part of it. Education's been highly undervalued in our country as well, so that's a big part of it too. But I'll say that that's not really much of an excuse. If you can learn from a video game, then Americans could learn language a bit better than they do, myself included. Just looking at, oh, there you go, language. Romance language. Similarity to a Romanian, Meglino-Romanian, and Eastro-Romanian, Western Romance languages. Romanian is spoken as first language, 91%, and then Hungarian and Vlax Romani. Oh yeah, of course the Romani people. I know something about. I don't want to pretend like I know them as well as you would, of course. But just because of I'm trying not to be offensive and use a word that I don't know if it's offensive or not, but the false assumption that the Romani were from Egypt led to this word. Let's put it that way. But oh right, the Romani are from India. That's right. I've forgotten about that. Did they spend time in Romania? Is that at all related to where they got their name? I'm wondering. I just unclear because I just saw there was a Vlax Romani that I wasn't sure if it was related to the one dialect of the Romani language, so I wasn't sure if that was. Oh, I know. I understand that. I wasn't clear if the Romani people picked up their name because they're nomadic people. I wasn't sure if they picked up their name on the way through Romania, if you will. Not that I understood what you were saying, that they're not Romanian, but I wasn't sure if there was any connection there whatsoever. Not that if they were the same people. But I mean, it is saying that, right here, that the Vlax Romani language is spoken mainly by the Romani people. And that is I think the third most spoken language in your country, according to Wikipedia at least. Yeah, that's what I was getting at. Yeah, that's where they got their name. Right, right. But they got their name from the concept that they were in the Romanian area, basically. That's where they got their name. That's all I was trying to say. Yeah. And of course, there's obviously, if there's still people there speaking Romani language, then they're probably, was it 6.2% according to this? Oh no, 1.2%. So very small amount, but still an amount. 1.2% is, I don't know how much of your country, but I'm sure a very small amount. Yeah, right there. So Hungarian, but yeah, way less than Romanian, obviously. I've never been to Romania, obviously, but I have been to Ukraine, and I know that's not too far away. But it was beautiful when I was there. It was years and years ago. So I can imagine. Actually, I know for a fact that the places that I was are destroyed now. But yeah. So there's that. I know you guys have been through hell, generally speaking, at various times in your history. So this is just more of the same, I guess, on some level. I mean, obviously you're not Ukrainian. I just mean your region, broadly speaking, have been on the front lines of multiple wars. Right, right. Yeah, I mean, anything related to a post-Soviet country is going to be messy like that. So, yeah, it's unfortunate, the way that everything has worked out in that regard, because I feel like, so much of what we know about the world was diluted, because it was just USSR versus the West, but mostly USA. Yeah, yeah, you got screwed in that regard for sure. I would say 100%. You cannot you can't even begin to compare, like, whatever, like, I don't know. Anyway, like, I'm not even a go USA, anti-USSR thing, but all the satellite states of Russia, if you will, did not always do as well, it feels like. Yeah, the small countries always get pushed around by the US too. And by the USSR and by NATO or whatever. I mean, like ultimately Russia now. It's not anything I endorse, but I can't, I can't ignore the fact that my country's the one doing it. So, or at least in some cases. I do wish that the US had more central planning though. Oh, I know. I know. I wouldn't imagine that you'd be here talking to me just some nobody just to to crap on me. Yeah, I don't think that you're blaming me for anything. I just you know, yeah, when you're American in an international sphere and you have any self-awareness, you have to be at least a little bit humble because of the way your country comes off a lot of the time to the rest of the world, and rightly so. But ultimately, it's just interesting to me to hear the perspective of people from countries that are obviously affected by mine. Yeah, I mean, I think that you can find people that are working to try and bring about peace and understanding, but that doesn't sell. That doesn't make money. So, whenever fires are being stoked, you can bet somebody's making money from it. So that's just something to keep in mind. I think that the one thing about the Cold War is that it spurred a sense of solidarity and a willingness to follow authority on both sides that only help power, only help the powerful and the wealthy and the well placed. So I think it's always worthwhile to keep in mind that the powers that be want you to think that you don't have the same concerns as a worker in another country, but you definitely do. And that's actually one way that the USSR failed is, if they really were seeking out a socialist, utopia as they claimed, they should have been trying at least on some level to reach out to the American worker, more so than they ever did. But they were fighting the U.S. capitalist propaganda machine as well. So there's not a lot you can do on that front. The same way that the U.S. didn't win the culture war, and that's how the USSR broke down. It broke down because of economic issues, like it always is with empires.
That's what we call it. T-Bet. r/world news redditors thought this was a Chinese deepfake before the Western media reported it. Yeah, I mean, anyway, let's see. So let's see what the NDTV article is talking about. A Tibetan spiritual leader, the Dalai Lama, has apologized after a viral video on social media showed him asking a boy to suck my tongue. A video clip has been circulating that shows a recent meeting when a young boy asks His Holiness, the Dalai Lama, if he could give him a hug. His Holiness wishes to apologize to the boy and his family, as well as his many friends across the world, for the hurt his words may have caused, the spiritual leader's office said in a statement. What is the controversy? I don't know. I wonder what the controversy might be.
From the southeast.
Perhaps it has something to do with this like 700-year-old religious figure asking a literal...
I'm a southerner. Georgia specifically is where I'm at.
The incident took place during
right now. I'm
interaction on
from
February 28th
South
at the
Carolina.
event Mikliat-Ganj, a suburb of Dharamshala. According to The Guardian, around 100 school students were present at the event, which was organized at a temple. One of the students present there asked the Dalai Lama on microphone if he can hug him. The 87-year-old asked the boy to come up to the platform where he was seated. The monk then planted a kiss on the boy's lips as he leaned in to pay his respects. He then stuck his tongue out while placing his forehead against the boy's and asked the child to suck it. The boy moved away while the Dalai Lama laughed and pulled the boy in for another hug, said the outlet. The reactions. The video was recorded by one of the attendees and amassed more than 1 million views.
This is
Twitter
nuts.
users slammed the footage, calling it disgusting and absolutely sick. Utterly shocked to see this displayed by the hashtag Dalai Lama. In the past, too, he's had to apologize for his sexist comments by saying, "Now suck my tongue to a small boy is disgusting," tweeted one of the users. What did I just see? What that child must be feeling? Disgusting, said another. Tibetan culture and tongue greetings. According to a 2014 BBC article, sticking out your tongue can be considered as rude, but in Tibet, it's a way of greeting. It has been a tradition followed by the Tibetan people since the 9th century when the region was ruled by Long Drama, who was known for a black tongue. After the death of the king, the locals started showing their tongues when asked to confirm that they are not like him or his reincarnation. The Institute of East Asian Studies, UC Berkeley, also mentions this in 2014 piece. Okay, but like, that's bullshit. That might be an actual tradition, but asking someone to suck your tongue is not. So why did you not clear that part up? It doesn't seem like anywhere were they saying "suck my tongue."
Yeah,
That's
this
not
is
a
this
Tibetan
seems
tradition. It seems
very weird, but I don't know. I don't know.
What the fuck is going on?
All right, Boca Seca. I hope things are going well.
This was way past the
yeah,
greeting
nice
stage,
tradition,
too.
exactly.
Yeah, he already did the fucking greeting.
Oh, good stuff.
That's a wild way to try and fucking defend this dude.
I mean,
actually,
it's
other
not
controversies involving
impossible.
The Dalai Lama in 2019, the Dalai Lama apologized
Hey,
for saying
thank
that if his
you,
successor were
Boca
to be a
Seca.
woman, she
All
would
right,
have to be
I actually
attractive.
gotta go.
The comments were criticized around the world were made
it's been
in
fun
an
talking to
interview
you,
with the
and
BBC.
I'll be back around. I'm gonna try
the
and
same
be
year, he
more
also
regular
triggered
about
controversy
my
after saying
streaming.
Europe belongs
So
to the
keep
Europeans
keep
on
an
the
eye
issue
out,
of immigrants.
and
Bro,
hit me
stay
up
in
and
your
tell me
own
more
lane.
about
Like,
Romania.
what do you mean? Why the fuck are you getting involved in like white nativist sentiment about European migration patterns? Like, what the fuck is going on?
It was good talking to you too, man. Talk to you.
Bro,
Talk to you soon, I hope.
If I lost 6,000